Your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming. This is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, Tuesday marked a major milestone for the Goshen and Gering-Ft Laramie Irrigation Districts as they were joined by local and state officials and the public to break ground on the first of two canal tunnel renovation projects. More than 6 years after a tunnel collapse and breach that impacted more than 100,000 acres of downstream farmland, work is now getting underway on tunnel number 2, which will see removal of existing tunnel structures, then excavation, enlargement, and relining of the new bore. During the ceremony at the site, Richard Grosskopf, president of the Gering-Ft Laramie Irrigation District, thanked all of the involved entities for their hard work.
This has been a tough project to get here to this day, and I just think that we should all appreciate that fact, because it's I think there's been somebody larger than us that's been behind it, because we want to fix this. We want it to go another maybe 200 years instead of 100 years. We hope that in today's technology that we've learned enough that maybe we can add some years to that.
Wyoming State Senator Sherry Steinmetz, who was a Select Water Committee member, reflected on the project's impact to area agriculture.
Our agricultural communities are the backbone of this nation. Today, that's why, and this groundbreaking for the permanent repair of the tunnels matters so much. It's not just to protect a project of concrete and steel. It's about protecting the future of agriculture and the very system that makes everything else possible.
The replacement project work will take place outside the irrigation season, allowing for water deliveries in 2026 and 2027 before anticipated completion in the spring of 2028. Total cost is expected to reach $150 million, with $64.5 million coming from the states of Wyoming and Nebraska, $58.5 million in a U.S. Bureau of Reclamation loan that's partially non-reimbursable, and the remainder from a source yet to be determined. Well, the man who led authorities on a high-speed pursuit, which resulted in a standoff in March in Scotts Bluff County, was back in court this week for sentencing. 21-year-old Tyrese Monroe was pulled over for speeding on Lake Minnetonka Road and ended up fleeing at a high rate of speed. He ultimately drove to a residence where his fiancée was and barricaded himself inside for nearly 2 hours before surrendering. In July, he pled no contest to charges of second-degree assault and felony operating a motor vehicle to avoid arrest. And on Tuesday, District Judge Leo Dobrovolny sentenced Monroe to 90 days of jail, 2 years of probation, and revoked his driver's license for 1 year. And major changes are coming next week for those with business inside the Scotts Bluff County Courthouse. Starting Monday, all electronics, including cell phones and smartwatches, will not be allowed past the security checkpoint, a prohibition that also will apply to purses, backpacks, bulky jackets, hats, and hoodies. The electronic device prohibition does not apply to DHHS and courthouse employees, law enforcement, and lawyers, but they do need court permission for use inside a courtroom. Sheriff Mark Overman told KNEB News the changes came about in a joint decision between the courts and his department after repeated use of cell phones inside courtrooms by members of the public while court is in session. Others with business in the building can use the lockers being installed outside the checkpoint for the newly prohibited items, and all are being advised that the new rules are likely to prolong the screening process. We'll have more news right after this.
The journey of a dream becoming reality. When we're young, a dream develops into a passion. That passion continues to manifest and grows as you do. It becomes all you want to do and all you want to be. It gives you direction. It drives you. Then your dream has become a reality. When that dream is ready to be reality, Platte Valley Bank will be with you every step of the way.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the very best. At Morrill County Community Hospital, they provide top-notch care with compassion and expertise. From routine checkups to advanced surgeries, their dedicated team is here for you 24/7. With state-of-the-art technology and a patient-first approach, they ensure you and your loved ones receive the highest quality care. Because at Morrill County Community Hospital, your health is their priority. Visit Morrill County Community Hospital today in Bridgeport. Morrill County Community Hospital. Exceptional care right here at home.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scotts Bluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scotts Bluff.
Welcome back. Reverend's Funeral Parlor will be hosting its second annual Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead celebration, from 4 to 6 p.m. on Saturday at their Scotts Bluff location. Attendees are invited to submit a photograph of a loved one to be displayed on the offering altar, and the celebration, which reflects a blend of indigenous traditions and Catholic beliefs, is not intended for worship, but rather a heartfelt gesture to honor and remember those who came before us. This event is free and open to the public, with light refreshments being served, and those wanting to add a photo can do so by emailing Alejandro at reverencefuneralparlor.com. And as the federal government shutdown continues, with suspension of SNAP benefits, more workers without paychecks, and other impacts, some, now including President Trump, are suggesting Republicans use the nuclear option to end the stalemate. That option would be changing Senate rules to eliminate the filibuster and allow a simple majority to push through the GOP's clean continuing resolution. Senator Pete Ricketts was asked about that idea during a conference call with reporters this week, and he responded that is just not a good one.
The filibuster rule is part of what makes the Senate and preserves and protects the minority. While Republicans are the majority right now, we have been in the past the minority party and will be again in the future at some point. And this is a institutional part of who the Senate is.
He said that if the filibuster were to be eliminated, Democrats would certainly take advantage when they're in control of the Senate and pass statehood for Washington, D.C., and perhaps Puerto Rico, pack the Supreme Court, and take other actions that would change the fabric of the republic. Ricketts said he opposed doing so with the Nebraska legislature when he was governor, and for the same reasons.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
I'm Jason Jorgensen. It is once again time for Husker Chat. It's brought to you by Acres Equipment. We are joined by Sean Callahan, the publisher of Husker Online. Nebraska with a gritty win at home against Northwestern, 28-21. Sean, it was not a thing of beauty, but on the heels of what happened at Minnesota, that's probably the type of victory and type of performance that the Huskers needed.
Yeah, you kind of expected it, to be honest, Jason. Northwestern has done that to everybody. They've kept games in the 20s. They grind it out with their ground attack, and they're just opportunistic on forcing turnovers and some of the things they've done. And Nebraska was a play away from kind of running away with that game. They convert the controversial fourth down, then they go on that 15-point run and tied it up. But then Nebraska was able to force a turnover, which was big. I mean, Nebraska's defense before Saturday went 2 consecutive weeks without a forced turnover. They get 2, and then Dylan Raiola was not his best game, but he put it together when it mattered. He went 4 for 4 on third down throws on the winning drive for Nebraska, and they get special teams. I mean, that's been such an X factor to get a kick return for a touchdown. You look at these one-score wins. I think Nebraska's 3-1 this year in one-score games, and you can really point at special teams in almost all of the games.
I was going to ask you about that. We've not talked a lot about it, although it has been talked about some in the media. But to this point, Mike Eckler's been as good as advertised with that bunch.
Yeah, you look at what Mike Eckler's done. He's just really added some identity to these units, some personality, some swagger. And he said, we're going to return punts. Well, they're doing it. I mean, they have more punt return yards this year than like the previous several years combined. They have 245 yards of punt return, but then on the flip side, they have only allowed 1 yard of punt returns on the season. So they're a plus 244 in the punt return yardage on both ways. Kyle Kananen has given them a lift at kicker. He did miss 1 kick on Saturday, unfortunately, but he's been very consistent. And then Archie Wilson, but the return game, Ja'Cory Barney, and then Kenneth Williams. I mean, you're seeing guys that you didn't really expect, like Kenneth Williams, impacting games. And that's coaching. The blocking downfield and the other things. I mean, there aren't penalties. It's so hard, Jason. You watch a lot of football. It's really hard to return a kick or a punt for a long yardage and not have somebody make a block in the back. And that's been impressive as well, that they've been disciplined in these returns.
And it's also been kind of a lost art in football. So, and when you have a lot of games that figure to be, 50-50 toss-up games, and sometimes that could be the difference. I know that kick return on Saturday was a huge momentum builder for Nebraska.
Yeah, it was kind of those things where you didn't even think usually nothing was going to happen. You just didn't think it was coming. I mean, the way the first half was so ugly, it was 7-6. And, for them to come out of the gates with that play, then force a turnover, then go up 21-6. I mean, special teams set the table for that. And, if they can do that again this week, that'd be huge against a USC team that comes in with a pretty good offense.
All right, big question here. Did you get to rub shoulders and elbows with Bill Murray on Saturday? Was it the game?
I did not. I was on the sidelines pregame, but they keep us pretty well curtained off now and on the one. So I saw pictures of him. But yeah, the joke was he was in town doing a screening for another Groundhog Day, but Nebraska's able to actually pull it out and win this time. So Groundhog Day 2, not going to happen, I guess.
All right. Well, that was kind of cool to see him there, even though he was wearing the wrong colors, but you can understand that, him being a Chicago guy.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think he was in town for a teammates event, is my understanding, because he was with Chris Anderson, former Husker SID that works with teammates. So it was good to see him down there and good to get a win for Nebraska too.
All right. How about this Saturday? USC comes into town. They're having a nice season. And boy, you start to look at the offensive numbers that the Trojans have put up this year. That's very, very impressive.
Yeah, you look at USC's offense. I mean, they're averaging 10 yards per passing attempt. Jaden Maeva is 20 of 35 on deep throws, 20-plus yard throws down the field. He's only been sacked 4 times. So they get it out fast. They don't take sacks. They find big plays. They had been a good running team, but they have suffered injuries to their top 2 running backs. But their third running back is probably as good as a lot of people's first running back. So they, that will be the question. What will their running game look like? Notre Dame, they were, they didn't run it like they normally had. What will it look like in this game? You have to assume they will try to run it. Maeva's not run it much. A year ago, he was running it 4 to 5 times a game. The last 2 games, he's not run it once. So will Maeva be more involved this week as well? Because teams tend to kind of go at Nebraska's edge and go at those guys and try to find big plays on the edge. But this is going to be a huge test for the secondary and kind of limiting things down the field. I thought it was a big week for Donovan Jones to get a pick. And, Rex Guthrie, again, a young safety. You got to think they're going to go after him in this game. So it's going to be a big game for a lot of those guys in the back end of this defense.
Do you put much in the stats that have been shown this week about USC's troubles on the road, especially when they've had to start to come across the country?
I do, because I think it's notable. And if you study USC's history, they've actually never really played a faraway road game this deep into the season. If you study like Notre Dame, when they play in South Bend, it was always an October game. But when Notre Dame plays USC, it's a November game in LA. So for you to get USC to travel cross country in the month of November, I do consider that a big break for Nebraska, because it's not going to be frigid cold, but it's going to be colder. It's 40, 50 degrees colder probably on Saturday here than what it was in LA today. So I do think there's an intangible advantage just with the elements that Nebraska should hopefully take advantage of. It will slow them down maybe a little bit than compared to what they're used to when they play in 85-degree weather every day. But yeah, the traveling is real. I think the data shows a lot of teams have struggled in this conference making these cross-country trips.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens Saturday night. Boy, big game, big showcase opportunity for the Huskers for sure.
All right. Hey, thanks, Jason.
You bet. That was Sean Callahan of Husker Online joining us. He joins us every week throughout the season. And Husker Chat is brought to you by Acres Equipment. I'm Jason Jorgensen.
October is Renewal by Anderson's United Against Cancer campaign, and when Renewal offered to pay for employees' radon testing and mitigation, several Renewal team members found radon in their homes. Deb was one of them, and she always wondered how she got breast cancer. Radon causes cancer. It's linked to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. Radon is a killer.
People don't know about radon. They don't know what a killer it is, and they don't know how cheap it is to have it tested.
From all of us at Renewal by Anderson, please get a radon test now. It could save your life.
You deserve to have a building that will last for generations. With more than 110 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, Morton Buildings is the industry leader you can trust. If you're planning for a garage, farm shop, horse barn, storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, there's no better time to buy. Contact your local Morton sales office or visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.
Let's take a peek at your weekend community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, the American Red Cross is joining forces with area fire departments, the Scotts Bluff Fire Marshal, and the Scotts Bluff Gering Rotary Club to get smoke alarms installed in as many homes as possible this weekend. This Saturday from 9 until noon, participants from those organizations will install free smoke detectors and provide home fire education to area residents. Those wanting a smoke alarm installed do need to sign up in advance online through the City of Scotts Bluff's website's fire department page under fire prevention, a link to which can be found in our story at kneb.com. And you can find out more on how to protect your family against home fires by visiting soundthealarm.org. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a safe Halloween weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.